White horse on a chariot, carried on a stick. Do you think you can carry it? Hand me the reins, I'm a tame guy. Hand me the reins, I'm a tame guy.
Hi.
Hi, happy, I don't even know what day it is. Friday.
Um,
It's Friday.
it is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. But you know what song is stuck in my head now?
Probably because I said it.
Yeah, you said that you're in Miami.
Yeah.
So it's literally playing in my head. Welcome to Miami, bienvenido.
You're not the first time I've heard that this weekend.
Really?
Mhm.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
At least is it like sunny and nice?
It is sunny. It is a little muggy, but and a little bit windy. But we're right on the beach. Super nice. And there's snow back in Spokane, so going from snow to 80 degrees, I'll take it.
Yeah. Um, it's actually not snowing here, but it is freezing and I could really go for like a nice hot summer day.
Yeah. Well, head on down. Head on down. Put your toes in the sand with me.
Yes, let me just hop on a plane real
Hmm.
quick.
Fire up the
Come meet
private
you.
jet, the PJ.
I wish. I wish.
One
Um,
day.
okay, well, I know that you're busy there. So speaking of time and making time for things that matter, that's what we want to chat about today.
Totally.
So, how do you do it? How do you make time for things that matter?
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple things, especially taking this trip in my crazy chaotic season of life that I'm in. Um,
Hmm.
my business does still matter, obviously. Family's always number one, but I did leave them to come get some clarity for my business. I think seasons and clarity are.
So you're at a conference
I'm
right
at a
now.
conference right now.
At a conference, so it's work related. You're not just taking a little vacation, which would be fine too. But like you said, you are in this season right now in your life that it is hectic, it is chaotic. You are trying to find a house for those that haven't been listening lately. You're out of your house, you're living in a new
Hmm.
state, and you're currently staying at somebody else's house. So you have a lot going on, but yet it was really important for you to go to Miami to this
Hmm.
conference.
Yeah,
So
and
you said,
take some focus, like in the chaos, right? Just focus on one thing, right? Because I think in chaos we focus on a lot of stuff, right? That's what kind of
mhm,
causes some chaos. And so I think being able to dial in and focus on one thing for a long weekend or a long
yeah,
trip, right? Um, and just kind of figure out the clarity on this, piece and what's in 2026, and really be able to dive in without all the extra chaos,
yeah,
is important. And I think that goes in multiple other facets, right? Taking a step back to be able to step back in and figuring out
mhm.
in the season what's important, right? Obviously, for me it's family and work, if that is what happens in this season, right? You know.
Well, and the work is for the family,
Mhm.
right? The work is for your own self and your own goals, but it's also at the end of the day to support
Mhm.
your why of your family,
Totally.
right?
Mhm.
So a lot of times, I mean, I say it, oh my God, I need more time in the
Mhm.
day. But maybe we don't need so much more time because we have the same amount of hours as everybody else.
100%.
Like us and the smart Albert Einstein, we both had 24
Mhm.
hours.
Yeah.
Shocker,
Mhm.
right? So, and that's just the first name that came to mind. But take any famous person, any CEO, any
Mhm.
whoever. We all have 24 hours in a day. So I think that what matters is what you do with the hours and having clarity on what does
Mhm.
matter. What are you going to put your time into
Mhm.
that's going to shift you from maybe a chaotic living
Mhm.
style to an intentional
Mhm.
one?
Or
where you can get more shit done.
100%. Or in business, right? Going from, we think that this is our mission to this is our mission, and then reverse engineering it for KPIs, right? Clarity is power. That's, literally a sticky note on my laptop as I'm logged in on my laptop, which I haven't done in forever.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so clarity is power, and clear is kind, and unkind is unclear. And so it's finding, clarity for
Oh,
yourself.
that's also good.
That's Brene Brown, that's not me. um,
That's so good.
but it's, finding clarity so that, one, you're being kind to yourself, but then you're being kind to like people that work for you, or whatever it is that you're working on, right? And then in the seasons of life, like right now, more chaotic season. Okay, I did have to take time for business, but ultimately my number one priority right now is my family. But this was already
Mhm.
started planning before some chaos happened, and so I was like, ooh, I got to step back, I got to focus on this. But ultimately, that's just the season of life I'm in. Okay, so now I'm focusing right now on what 2026 is going to look like for my business. Okay, then I'm going to have to step back and go back into some, you know chaos, and go, okay, family, and there's still stuff in 2026 that's going to happen, but maybe it's not top of mind.
Yeah. But I mean, even right now, I'm looking at you and you have headphones in, a badge around your neck from because I know nobody else knows, but I know that you literally just walked out of a breakout
Mm-hmm.
session and you're huddled up in a hotel room so that you can record an episode for the
Mm-hmm.
podcast. So you took time out of what you were doing and being at this convention to even just quickly record an episode because that matters to you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking time and you're making the time, not even just taking the time, you're making the
Mm-hmm.
time for
Mm-hmm.
something, right? Which we could do with anything.
100%.
I think you have to figure out what matters to
Mm-hmm.
you, right? So you said your family and then your career right now. I think for all listeners also, you have to figure out what are the top 3, say. It doesn't have to be 3,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. What are the top things that actually matter to you? Because that's how you start figuring out where you wanna have your
Mm-hmm.
time.
Well, and I think too, and we've talked about this a little bit, of this is such like this passion project for you and I, and how passionate we really are about the podcast and what this means, and the message for working moms, and like this whole bigger vision than just the podcast. And
Mhm.
even today, as we were like sitting and like, there was some vision casting on business, and it's of course all really it's real estate related, where you and I met, and like the whole thing. I was like, dang, 2026 is going to be a great year for that greater message of the working moms, and the grit and the tenacity and the no excuses, and as I'm sitting there thinking about all of my chaos,
Mhm.
going, okay, you got to be on the other side. It's got to be coming soon,
Yeah.
because
It's worth
it's worth
it.
it. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm exhausted because you know these conferences, if you go to them in any, that it's late
Oh my
nights, early
yes.
mornings. I mean, I'm on probably less than
Yeah,
5 hours of sleep, which for
I believe
anyone
it.
listening knows that your homegirl likes her sleep. And so, someone was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm really tired. But it's one of those
But I'm
things.
so happy to be here.
It's just one of those things where you you got to do what you got to do, and what is important, and you got
Yes.
to make it happen.
That I feel like that's also just a motto of being, like, a mom and a working mom is you just do what you gotta
Hmm.
do. But, I do think that having the clarity on what
Hmm.
matters to you, it could
100%.
be different for everybody, right? Right now, I'm in this whole health, functional health, perimenopause, all that. I'm on that whole
Hmm.
kick, so that's top of mind for me and important in my time to work on that, right?
100%.
Working out and health. And then also career. Like we both are focused on what's happening in our careers right now. So that is an important thing for what time is spent on it,
Hmm.
right? And then family, that's always our number one.
Hmm.
I can speak for both of us, like, both of us agree on that, and so figuring out what the time looks like for that, but knowing that those things that we care so deeply about and that matter the most right now, it could
Mm-hmm.
change. I mean, family's probably not gonna change, but
Mm-hmm.
the other things could rotate in and out,
100%.
right? And so figuring out right now what that looks like,
Well, and
right? What that
it's what are the big rocks? What's on the power list? It's not anything new that you and I have ever said. I think
right.
it's finding the clarity in the season that you are in and going, okay, this is it by quarter? Is it by month? Is it by week? Is it by day? Right? What is important
Mhm,
today for me that I need to make time for, or my family, or whatever? And then it's doing those activities, whatever it looks like, to move that needle forward.
mhm. And maybe you have to take an audit right now of what you're doing
100%.
with your
Man,
time.
I am auditing the crap out of things.
Like, where
Hmm.
yesterday I found myself I went just sitting at my desk working, normal day, but I had an application for my youngest to start, this sounds silly, but, like, to start school. Yeah, I mean, she's 1, but, like, this is for next August, so literally that far away, but the school that her older brother's at is starting
Hmm.
registration.
Totally.
So they passed out packets, and I was like, "Oh, she'll be 2 in August, like, she'll be able to go." And I yesterday morning was sitting here, and I went to pull it to start filling it out, and then I was like, "Why am I doing this right now?
Hmm.
I do not need to do this right now. It's not due. It's it's January. I have a while to do." Like, point being, I told myself in that moment, "Put it down, and let's focus on income producing activities or what is moving the needle forward in business right now."
Hmm.
So maybe lame example, but we have to audit what we're doing.
Not a lame example because some schools do have timelines. Like, so I got an email
I'm sure they do.
for
Yeah.
Bennett's old school, and it was like priority registrations open for 1 week only. And so, like, now granted he's not going. We don't live there anymore, but it was like, we're in that
Gotta
case,
get in
right?
it.
You would have had to focus on that, and it's the big rocks, it's the move the needle forward, it's the income producing activities. And I think really for me too, what I see when I coach people, right, is let's really define what an income producing activity is, because what you think might be an income producing activity is not actually an income producing activity. What you think is active
Mhm,
income is not actually active income. And so I think it
mhm,
is the reality check of, and the rawness, and just being real with yourself too, right? Am I categorizing this as an income producing activity, or am I
mhm.
just wasting time?
Right. And we're probably wasting time a lot.
Too much time.
Scrolling,
Hmm. I go through seasons of that.
that social media I want nothing to do with social
Me
media,
either. Me either.
which is why our podcast Instagram page sucks and the podcast, like, Facebook. I'm trying to step it up, but that is why I'm going to leverage the help of a virtual assistant to handle it because I don't wanna
Hmm.
deal with it. Because that to me is a time
A
suck.
100%.
I don't wanna spend my time
Well,
on
and that's
that.
why I have my sister do my social. Now I still have to
Yeah,
take the content, don't get me wrong. However, I'm
right.
not putting it together, and she's great. She loves it. She's younger, and I'm just like, have at it, honey, because
It is not where we are best
that is not
served.
my best seat on the bus, nor do I want it.
No.
My next
Have
thing is going to be figuring out someone answering to all my messengers when people are like,
use ManyChat. ManyChat.
no, like when they're like, hey,
Oh, the
the
DMs.
DMs.
Mhm. Can you have a VA do it?
I've tried to delegate my email before, and I was not too happy with how it happened, so I had
Just
to
delegate
take it
don't send
back.
an email. Just do the
No, I
messenger.
know, but I got to train the
Oh,
voice but you know
oh,
what you can use is AI.
yeah.
So it's just, you gotta take the time, and you gotta prioritize it to train it to do it what you want it to do.
Well, and so that is something that may be worth your time to
100%.
do because it would leverage more time in the long run,
100%.
right? So back to the audit, I would do, I mean, in in our company, we'll often do like the 15-minute
Mm-hmm.
checker
Shout out to Dan
or
Martell on that
15-minute
one.
tracker.
Yep.
Yep, 15-minute tracker. Like, what are you doing to when they tell us like, "Oh, I don't have time to do any of this." We're like, "Man, you do." So what are you
Yeah.
doing? So we'll do the 15-minute tracker. But you can do that with yourself too, or a 24-hour check. Like, okay, at the end of the day, what did I do
Mm-hmm.
today? I told you I sent you that little list for my
Mm-hmm.
every single day. I have it on my desk
Mm-hmm.
now. It's so simple and it's just for like water, workouts, greens, protein drink. Did I have a healthy meal? All that. Did I read? Like that stuff's on
Right.
there. Very simple, easy to check off. But let me tell you, at the end of the week, I go, this week, it's Friday. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't have a greens drink literally since
Mm,
Monday, which I would have normally just been like, oh, I probably did at some point. You know what I
totally.
mean? So auditing, now that's not an example of time, but just auditing at the end of the day, what did I do today that truly mattered?
100%. And I think the auditing, it's so funny because I've read about that in the Dan Martell book, Buy Back Your Time. Really great book. If anyone's having, problems with it, such a great book.
Mhm,
And it's funny because I know people that audit their time like that in the 15-minute tracks. And anytime someone's
mhm,
like, oh, you should audit your time, I'm like, nope, not going to do that because I already know that I am insufficient and I just need to go make changes. Like, I'm
oh,
like, because to me, right? And when I hop over into my visionary brain, I go, that is a waste
mhm,
of time. I don't want to do it. It's just another task. And so for me, I'm like, that audit is almost a trigger in itself to just go
mhm,
self regulate and fix anyway. Because
yeah, you're,
it
like,
like
freaking
triggers in
yourself
my
out for it.
mind of going, oop, you already know where you're insufficient.
Yeah, but okay, so with that sense, even instead of asking at the end of the day, then, "What did I do that truly mattered?" Which is something we can ask every
Mm-hmm.
day, you could ask, "What did I do today that could be shortened or cut out
Oh,
altogether?"
100%.
Because you can't add more things until you cut out things. Because remember, we have the same 24 hours. So the 24 hours is already filled with
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So if you want to add more stuff, you got to subtract stuff first. And that's where that audit comes in, right? So at the end of the day, what did I do today that could be simplified, removed, cut out altogether? What are those
Well,
things?
and I think that's such a big thing. And in numerous areas of life, assets of life, you can tell I'm at a real estate conference. But, I was talking with a client while here where we're talking about different roles, responsibilities, and how I can help in their business. And I had to look at him and say, I cannot add anything because I have to
Hmm.
subtract something. And right now, these things I cannot subtract.
Right.
And that is where my capacity is. Now I was like, no, this is what I can do. And we can work up to that. But I think
Hmm.
it's having the self awareness too of, and we've talked about this, of not saying yes to everything. Like, you have to stop and
Yes.
pause like, don't just get super excited about it, but pausing and going, okay, what's the reality of the situation? Because this client, I really want to help. I see the vision. It's big. It's not in an area where I'm like super passionate about in real estate, but bigger picture operations and all that. I can see it.
Hmm.
So I want to help.
But we
But we
overcommit too
can't, like,
much.
we overcommit. And so it's like one of those things where it's like, just breaking hearts out here
Mhm.
with my clients and just going, right now, today, I cannot. But
Right. So maybe it's not a no
it's not a no
forever, maybe,
forever. That's what's exactly where I was going.
but it's a no for
It's
right
a no
now,
for today.
for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that, okay, so as moms, things that we can cut after you've done this audit and after at the end of the day you've looked at what did I do that was important? Where did I spend my time that was the
Mm-hmm.
best and focusing the most on things of this season that I need and want,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what can I cut? What can I simplify? What can I lessen? All of that. You could cut busy work. Like you said, sometimes we just do busy
Mm-hmm.
work so that we're like looking productive, but we're not really
Right.
productive. Or like you just said, the overcommitment.
Mm-hmm.
What are we overcommitting to that we don't really need to do?
Well, and like, okay, this is going to sound a little sassy, but like how many play dates are you committed to each week? And I'm saying a general you, right? All the listeners. Are you overcommitting on play dates? Are you overcommitting on sports, right? You get radical with your summer calendar. For me, that's overcommitment. For you, it's perfect, right? But self-regulating
No, I get it.
and it's going, what do they really need?
Uh-huh.
Well, at the end of the day, they really just want us. Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
that's not always a reality, right? But it's like, okay, you get to
Mm-hmm.
pick one, not three. You get to pick this, okay? You get a play week this or a play week, today. Okay, then you're not going to have one until maybe 2 weeks. Maybe it's bi weekly, right? Like, there's so many things. Do we really have to do a load of laundry a day, depending on how much clothes your kids wear? I know for me, it's easier to do a load a day versus having it all on the weekend. It's
Yeah, so you have to figure out what works for your schedule too.
100%. So it's those micro
Yeah.
habits like we talked about last episode and changing that of okay, what's servicing, what can I not do, what do I need to do, and what's going to move it, at the end of the day, right? Like Mackenzie's the perfect age, right? She's 2. She doesn't, I'm going to say the perfect age for this example because that's a whole
Yeah.
new world, but she's 2, she's not in school, all she wants to do is hang out with her mom. Okay, well, I don't need to do this overzealous, schedule for her.
Right.
I just need to include her when I go to the grocery store because
Yeah.
she loves
Take
that.
her with you. Yep.
It's like
Yep.
it's dumbing it down to simplify it to like just find the joy in the
Make
small
it easier
things.
on you too. Yeah.
100%.
Make it easier on you, but also you're giving her that time
Yeah.
with something that you're already doing
It
anyway.
doesn't have to be this zoo trip, this
Right.
no.
Right. So okay, one of the things I wanted to bring up was creating micro moments, and maybe we can do a whole nother episode on that, but we talked about like the mini habits and hacks,
Mhm.
right? And maybe we create micro
Mhm.
moments for what does matter, and that doesn't have to be huge time commitments, right? We talked about how Mel Robbins was talking about like the 8-minute phone call, just a quick phone call to somebody.
100%.
What I've tried to do recently is reach out to more people or text more people to nurture my relationships, like family and close friends, right? So I will voice text when I'm doing something else. Literally, I could be like doing my hair and I'll just say, "Hey Siri, blah blah." Blah. Okay, she thinks I'm talking to her. "Hey Siri, text message, da 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 da."
Mhm.
Da." So a quick text message that really makes that person feel seen and heard, but I did it really quickly. Not that it's still not coming from my heart, but I'm using these like I'm trying to manage my time and use it wisely to like get in these micro things that could help and further what matters. Like your grocery store trip,
Mhm.
taking Kenzie,
Mhm.
that's giving you one-on-one connection time with
Mhm.
her, right?
Mhm.
So whether it's a quick little workout, I told you, you know all about this like functional health thing and like health in general. I suck at working out. I hate working out. I don't like
Mhm.
it. So now I started doing these micro things. Literally, like I got the walking tread in my office. I can do 10, 20 minutes
Yeah.
easy. Vibration plate, 5, 10 minutes easy. Little micro
Mhm.
things, little micro, you know what I mean? So that we are, not only is it a whole habit, compound effect
Mhm.
also thing, but it's using your time wisely to get little things in that matter. Back to like when we talked about the things that matter.
100%. I mean, even so, last week before I left, so we're homeschooling Benna now. If you're new listening here, I just changed a whole lot of stuff recently. But my mom found this math game to play. It's this game. It's kind of like this, it's like Candyland esque with like some charades. I don't know. But it's basically a math game. And
Okay.
so we killed like 3 birds with one stone this one day. We just sat and played this game. It took maybe 20 minutes, you know? And so we're doing schoolwork. Bennett's having a ball. Bennett loves playing games. And I took the 20 minutes, the micro time, right? It doesn't have to be this elaborate, beautiful thing, but it's like we sat and we played the game and we were laughing and we were doing these charade things and he was also doing math.
Mhm.
It's finding stuff like that where it's like, okay, this is going to kill 5 birds in this one thing.
Mhm. Yep. So also with the homeschooling, are you doing like certain times a day, like time blocked?
Oh, that's a whole other adventure that is not planned out yet.
Okay. Well, what I was gonna say is that that is, and then maybe you can do this like when you are time blocking it,
Hmm.
or we need to have a whole nother conversation about that because I want to know about it.
Totally.
But basically, where I was going with it was protecting the important
Oh,
things.
100%. You have to time
So,
block to protect the important things.
yes.
Hmm.
And that includes family time. That includes your own personal time. That includes any of it, right? You have to time block it. You need to keep the
Hmm.
boundaries, which we've talked about before,
Hmm.
so that you protect it. You protect the things that matter. You protect the time for the things that matter. You have your non
Hmm.
negotiables, and you have like, okay, I don't have time for this, which is another
Hmm.
boundary. I'm not going to do it,
Totally.
right? Because for moms, we're doing so
It
much.
all.
So we need to have the boundaries to
Hmm.
protect the time for the things that matter,
Hmm.
right?
100%.
And then the other thing I was going to say about it was having systems for stuff. If you can have systems for stuff,
100%.
whether it's delegating, Savvy started unloading the
Hmm.
dishwasher. That's great.
Well, and I,
Like, here's a
I
tray,
think
unload the
it goes
dishwasher.
back to what you were saying earlier is compounding habits, right? And so it's even systematizing that, right? Okay, you get up at the same time every day and you do that. I mean, as dumb as that sounds, it makes
Yeah.
a huge difference.
Yeah. What about like paying your bills, setting up those on automations? That
Automations,
little
yep,
thing saves so much time.
100%.
Just set it up.
Subscribe and save from Amazon, baby.
Yes, otherwise, all of a sudden at the end of the month, you run out of whatever it is you get from them, call it diapers or something. You know you're gonna need it.
100%.
I mean, I don't get my diapers from Amazon, but you know what I
Hmm.
mean. Maybe I should. Maybe I should have that on like
You
repeat.
could,
There we go.
and you're gonna save. I have, yeah.
But okay, so outsourcing, delegation,
Auditing.
whatever it is. Yep, even if it's planning your meals out, like doing things to simplify. Oh, capsule wardrobe, we've talked about that.
Hmm.
Like you have on repeat just a couple pants, a couple shirts, whatever for the season right now.
Totally.
So having systems that will help save your sanity also, but protect your time. And then just check in. I think just check in with yourself, really, right?
Hmm.
At the end of the day, like we said, did I get things done? What mattered? What did my time look like? And if it's not working, figure out what you have to do to change it or adjust it for the next week or the next day, whatever, right? It's just tiny little steps, tiny little hacks, tiny little habits creates consistency over
Hmm.
time.
Mic drop.
And hopefully it makes you feel better. Makes your life
And if
easier.
not, reach
And you
out
get
to us and we'll talk about it.
at the end of the day, you get more done that you want to get done.
And it really gives you energy. I mean, nobody is saying, oh, wow, I got so much done today. It was a real bummer.
So true. I always feel so good when I'm like, oh my God, I just got so much stuff
Hmm.
done. Sometimes you also need to like get rid of the distractions. So
100%.
I have this curtain on my
Hmm.
door. So I'll shut it. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I'm in this like private, dark, not dark, it's light, but like curtain
Hmm.
shut. And I can get more focused and more done, right? And not being harassed. Like once the kids are home, it's after 3 o'clock and they're like,
Hmm.
can I come
Yeah,
in? You know?
totally.
So setting yourself up for success, making time for things that matter, getting clarity on what matters.
Hmm.
Let us know.
Let us know.
All right, I'll let you get back to your conference.
And my work or my breakout rooms. Yeah. Thank you. It was good to see you. I miss you. But we do need to catch up too.
Yeah, I feel like there was like a couple things that we brought up in this that could be a whole nother conversation. So,
It's just a blossoming of different podcast episodes.
yay! All right. Well, have fun, my friend.
Okay. Miss you tons. Bye.
Bye.